Welcome back to Raw BM 101. The chapter is an introduction to bioinstruments. To recap, in the last lecture, we talked about parameters and sensors, as well as getting to specifics of sensors, such as electrodes. In this lecture, we'll begin our section over transducers. To start, let's talk about a displacement transducer. A displacement transducer is used to measure physical changes in the position of an object or medium. They detect changes in length, pressure, and quantify abnormal physiological functions in relation to a baseline. These sensors are applied to measure blood pressure, blood flow, and various pressures throughout the body. Next, let's talk about an inductive displacement transducer. They measured the displacement by changing either the self-inductance of a single cell or the mutual inductance by coupling between two or more stationary coils, typically by displacement of a ferrite or iron core. A specific type of inductive displacement transducer is a linear variable differential transformer and has a wide variety of medical applications. They're useful because they can be fabricated in very small sizes with very low mass cores. An example of one of their uses is the scanning laser tomography. It uses a near-infrared diode laser for imaging and measurement of retinal topography, which is the study of the eyes. The lens is focused on an area of concentration to maximize the depth resolution. Another example of the application of LVDT is a brain surgery probe. The probe drives streamlined implantation of deep brain stimulating electrodes, such as the microelectrodes that were mentioned earlier. For functional neurosurgery, precise placement of the electrodes is necessary and is very difficult to accomplish. At the heart of the system, there is an LVDT that accurately monitors the positions of the probe when it places the electrodes in the targeted area and is extremely essential. An earlier application of LVDT was the fabrication of invasive blood pressure measurement transducers. They consisted of three essential parts: a dome with pressure fittings, stainless steel diaphragm and core assembly, as well as the LVDT coils. The pressure is transmitted via a catheter that exerts a force on the diaphragm. This causes a movement of the diaphragm and the core attached to it. The movement of the core of the LVDT provides an output that can then be recorded for suitable electronic circuit processing. This is not used anymore, however, due to the fact that there is non-invasive blood pressure that is much safer for the user and patient. Another application is an electronic caliper for continuous monitoring of arterial diameter changes during pulsation and in vivo investigation of the effect of drugs on the arterial diameter. A different type of transducer is an electromagnetic flow transducer. The way they work is that they use the measurement of blood flow and measure blood vessels near the heart, including the aorta, and at the point where it exits from the heart. Another type of transducer is a potentiometer transducer. It converts linear or angular displacement into output voltage. The output voltage between the sliding contact and one terminal of the resistor is linearly proportional to the displacement. They can be used to control and monitor the dosing pumps in transperitoneal dialysis. The last type of example that we'll be talking about in these slides is the elastic resistive transducer. It consists of a thin elastic tube filled with electrically conductive materials. Its resistance changes with the length variations of the tube, shown in the equation below. It can be used for a variety of functions, specifically to measure changes in the peripheral volume of a leg when the outflow of blood from the leg is temporarily occluded by a blood pressure cuff. In the next lecture, we'll be talking about another set of examples of transducers.